news where he would be commissioning some project. Okay, there. Live footage from Borno, that's Maiduguri, the Borno state capital, and that's the president arriving at one of the commissioning venues ahead of his arrival. He got into Maiduguri at about 10:36 a.m. Ahead of his arrival here, we also had some pictures which we couldn't bring to you, people arriving in their droves to that venue. But there is the president with the governor of the state and some other state officials and dignitaries that are there to receive him. He's going into the hall now to find out exactly what this project is that he is about to commission.
Can we go down so that they are coming? They don't have to push. They just How are you?
As part of its far-reaching responses to huge economic setbacks caused by the Boko Haram in Borno state, the Kashim Shettima administration initiated a bold and ambitious project of constructing an industrial park in Maiduguri. The park was designed for localization of factories that share resources which include raw materials, electricity, security, amongst others, with room for attraction of more industries in future. For a start, the industrial park, just commissioned by President Muhammadu Buhari, has in it 16 plants for manufacturing of different products that are mostly agricultural related. Even though each of the 16 plants manufacture different products, some of them are assembled to share one factory hall under a modern integrated concept that ensures efficient space and other resource utilization. The 16 plants include a solar panel production plant with optimum capacity to annually produce panels that can generate 120 megawatts, another plant for manufacturing of elementary school desks and chairs, and a plant for manufacturing of drip irrigation pipes. Others include PVC pipes production plant, tomatoes processing plant, onions and ginger dehydration plant, pilot juice processing plant, cassava processing plant, table water line plant, corn chips production plant, biscuits production plant, grains and cement sacks production plant, greenhouse nets production plant, canopy shades nets production plant, and plastic mats production plant. With today's groundbreaking, Mr. President Muhammadu Buhari has just laid the bridge to Borno's economic recovery and prosperity. Thank you, Mr. President, and welcome to Borno State.
More than 500 tons of rice The bag manufacturing plant has capacity to produce 36 million woven sacks of 100 kg just to take care of our rural farmers. We have several of these things. We have cassava processing. We are going to use our additional cassava. Not the indigenous cassava, but the we are going to make it garri. So we are not in competition with everyone. And these are just a few of those things that we are working.
Very good, very realistic.
Yes. Our seedling production for tomato seedling has capacity to produce 8 million seedlings of tomato or hectare lumber per month. That's the only way we can help farmers to deal with it. But in addition, we have 23 warehouses of materials that will be given to farmers to assist them because we need a very large employee. The tomato factory will employ about 50 specialists, but the outgrowers will be about 50,000. So that's the value of what we are doing. Most of our things are done in ultra-modern, cost-saving, and it's all in the hope that will appreciate our trust in agriculture and also back it up. On the tractor side, Your Excellency, we are in a deficit of about 1,500 pounds. We need about 35 horsepower, 45 horsepower. Our ratio of 1 to 1 is 1 to 1,000 pounds. I'm talking with the chairman of the committee, and I will then able to produce. We really appreciate that. Thank you very much. And this is congratulations to your latest work for the government. But it's a massive plan.
I think they go back. I didn't actually, they're not actually on that. I didn't actually on that. Finish. They're leaving.
It must be strongly emphasized that since 2011, Governor Shetima had declared agriculture as being at the center of his job creation focus. The governor, who by training is an agricultural economist, believes agriculture is the greatest employer of labor, and for that, his administration has invested heavily in acquiring and putting to use multi-billion naira worth of agricultural equipment in varieties. The governor approved the deployment of some of the equipment to safe farm locations in the state. The governor also approved the establishment of a seedlings multiplication center, which is designed to produce high-yielding seedlings that will increase harvests for farmers. Governor Shetima was, however, concerned that farmers in the state lacked opportunities to gain more by adding value to their produce. This formed his #1 basis for constructing from scratch a new industrial layout in Maiduguri. From a different angle, Maiduguri, the state capital, has grown far bigger in population, arising from migration of numerous families who seem to have permanently resettled themselves in the state capital after escaping from their different locations and local government areas. The new population from all parts of Borno required a new strategy of preventing economic explosion by creating opportunities for the millions of people now living there. Located in Jimtilo on the Maiduguri-Damaturu highway, the new industrial layout is directly opposite the Borno State University, which was also established by Governor Kashim Shetima. Industries in the layout are designed to share common strategic resources like electricity, water supply, security, and ease in transport for evacuation, while some byproducts of factories may become raw materials for others. The layout also has vast land resources meant for the purpose of future industries that can be of private development, taking advantage of some potential concessions in land allocation and taxes by the Borno state government. A total of 10 factories are being established. In most of them, machinery have already been imported and assembled under completed structures, while infrastructures are being put in place. These industries include a plant for processing of tomato, another factory for the dehydration of onion and ginger, a corn chips factory, and another factory for processing of fruits juices for mango, carrot, watermelon, and other fruits. There is another factory for processing of cassava and a waterline plant. The industrial layout equally has a plant for production of solar panels with the capacity of producing 120 megawatts of energy annually. The solar panel factory is believed to be the biggest in Nigeria. The industrial layout also has an experimental farmhouse with a facility for automated weather control for research-based growing of over 3 million seedlings of different crops every season.
We are now facing a very grim situation, what we call security challenge from Boko Haram. But you also should know that the underlying causes of those insurgencies and so on and so forth is poverty. We are opening up opportunity for people to really become very useful members of the society. If you choose to be a farmer, I think you are not going to lose value of your crop. We'll be able to harness it and use it. If you want improvement on your cropping pattern, we are ready to partner with you on that particular line. Those who have the capacity, who are willing partners, especially the young ones, we can show them the modern agricultural techniques. And we have very vast land. We have got very good water source. Don't look at it like we don't have rain. We don't have much rain, but our rain-fed irrigation is very good, especially for those people who are dependent on the rain-fed irrigation. But those people that want to go a little bit deeper, especially maybe 60 meters, they'll be sustaining their irrigation throughout the year. And the wisest way of sustaining irrigation through borehole or tube well is through drip irrigation, and we are providing them those opportunities, techniques, know-how and skill, and also open up the market for them. Poverty is the underlying cause of thinking outside the envelope to see what can we do to really ameliorate the effect of poverty, improve income, create employment, and also ginger the people to be very productive. These are the issues that are on ground. If you ask me, this thing is just an industrial estate. Now, a lot of people say, how come this thing happened? I think it happened is because of the visionary leadership of Governor Kashim Shettima. I think he saw the need to really identify the root causes of poverty and insurgency, and also to establish the facilities to ameliorate that particular effect, also to attack people. We are no more saying that Boko is haram. We are saying that Boko is halal because it is the way to go, and that you can also have a future in agriculture. The state also has a very good future in industrial, agro-industries and other allied industries that can make a lot of difference in this Federal Republic of Nigeria.
The industrial layout, the first of its kind by any northern government in Nigeria, is an ambitious legacy that is being accelerated for completion and commissioning. This is one of many historical milestones to mark the end of Governor Kashim Shettima's administration in May 2019.
The word for crisis in the Chinese language is Wei Des. Wei stands for danger and Des for opportunity. The Boko Haram crisis, as terrible as it was or as it is, also gave us the opportunity to re-engineer our society to be a better place.
The clear instance of the Chinese Wei Qi first manifested in 2012 when Boko Haram insurgents at different times in Maiduguri and Benishek killed 5 Chinese expatriates whose companies were constructing roads and bridges in Maiduguri and some parts of Borno state. Those killings at a time when Boko Haram members were still in Maiduguri led to a point when Chinese companies and other foreign civil engineering contractors blacklisted Borno state, citing insecurity.
The blacklisting of Borno was very sad, condemnable, but it was equally a blessing in disguise, because it gave us the opportunity to grow from within. It gave our local engineers the opportunity to excel. It gave us the opportunity to think outside the box and come up with solutions to our challenges. And I believe that it rubbed unfavorably on us.
The unfortunate, even though understandable decision of the Chinese companies brought to standstill construction of some roads being undertaken by the Kashim Shettima administration. To make matters worse, civil engineering workers operating with the Nigerian-based construction companies also became targets of the insurgents at the sites of projects and quarries. The violence forced Nigerian-based construction companies to stay out of Borno like the Chinese had done. Governor Kashim Shettima needed to find a way out for Borno. As part of responses, the governor decided that the only way out was to highly equip the Borno State Ministry of Works by acquiring all kinds of construction company equipment to make it feasible for dozens of Borno citizens who were practicing engineers to make sacrifices of constructing the roads and bridges in their state.
Road construction is one of the big achievements Kashim Shettima has already been able to achieve, due to the fact that he is able to procure many equipments for the workers to have and use and make their work easier. Simple instance. Before, when I was a student, machines like grader, bulldozer, milling machine, compactor, and others, I only see them on books. It is when I went to Ikiti for service that I started seeing some of them. But now, even here in the Moro, none of these machines I have mentioned, we have only one or two. I cannot even count how many we have, even in Boma, not talk of in works and in other state ministries, which are procured by what? Kashim Shettima.
The pace of our work here in Damboa Road, we have covered about 4.7 kilometers, and we're trying to meet the stipulated target given to us. So you can see our quality of asphalt is of high quality because we have done all the necessary tests in the lab, and the laterites that are being brought to us from Damatru, we have equally tested it, and we have done the necessary institute density test. And we have various equipment that we use on this particular site. The excavator, the payloader, water tanker, the milling machine. That is a different one because people of Maiduguri have never seen this particular one, and we use it to mill the median in between. We use it to mill the median. Then we have the bulldozer and lots of more.
The governor said, whereas foreign contractors had the option of staying out of the state, citizen engineers under employment of the state government could not afford to abandon their state at this time of need. The governor said at that time in 2012 that he was determined to ensure Borno was as highly equipped as some major construction giants operating in Abuja and Lagos. Clearly, Governor Shettima applied the Chinese word for crisis, weiqi, which, as he explained, combines two opposite words, danger and opportunity. Whereas the dangers inherent in the activities of Boko Haram had deprived Borno of Chinese and other foreign and local construction companies, it nevertheless created an opportunity for Borno state government to equip itself and use competent citizen engineers competent to undertake series of roads, bridges, and drainage projects across the state. It was also an opportunity to further expose local engineers to more practical challenges and experiences they may not have had in the state.
I would like to remind us here that 5 years ago, we reached a point where foreign construction companies blacklisted Borno due to Boko Haram's killings. We were left with one option of taking our destinies into our hands. We took far-reaching measures to acquire all kinds of construction equipment to make it possible for our engineers as the Ministry of Works and BOMA to championing the remodeling of our dear state. I am proud to note that Borno State government is now as equipped as any major construction company in Nigeria. Using our own equipment, our engineers are building quality roads and bridges in our rural and urban renewal efforts.
With these equipment provided by the administration of Governor Kashim Shettima, the citizen engineers have largely been responsible for the construction of numerous roads in Maiduguri and parts of Konduga and Jere.
Let's give a timeline. When do I expect this place to start for that?
In the next 10 days, we are going to start. We are going to test on the whole plant. So after the production starts.
Martin is a much more serious company. Maybe we can partner with Martin for them to supply a specific quantity of each per week. Drive our environmental process. I think that we shall do that.
In the course of this administration, from 2011 to date, the ministry was able to achieve much, especially in terms of roads. Construction of roads, if you go into the Maiduguri township, you will see almost all the roads within Maiduguri Metropolitan and Imbalance are all retired. They are now, when we came in, there were a lot of pitfalls on almost all the roads, but now we have rehabilitated almost all the roads within Maiduguri Metropolitan and Jere. Then in the other local governments, the construction of roads has taken place, especially the Margi Highway, which has been abandoned for so many years. So we have mobilized to site and we were working almost certain appreciable percentage has been reached, but because of the insurgency, we have stopped work on that site. Also, Damboa, Chibok, Balala Road is also a project that has been on air for almost 30 years and it has been abandoned. But with this administration, we have renewed and we have commenced work on that one, and now we have reached a very appreciable level, especially from Damboa to Chibok. We are engaged in 30-kilometer road and we are almost within the span of this administration. We are able to complete that project, inshallah.
Ranging from within the period of 1 year of my assumption to duty as the Boma chairman, we constructed over 200 kilometer roads. That is ongoing and completed across Borno State. Some are in southern parts of the state, while most are within the township road, particularly Bolori 1 and 2, Maimusari, Mashamari, Kwanan Yobe, Laimbola, and some asphalt overlays in some of the heartland of Maiduguri metropolitan, such as Galadima Kyali Drive, Kumshe area, the Gwenge Sabon line. These are roads that was abandoned for a long period of time, over 40 years. This is the first time I think Puma is visiting.
Majority of these listed roads were executed in the first 4 years of the Kashim Shettima administration, when security challenges restricted areas of reach even within the metropolis.
Hanyar Maiduguri da akwai dan wahala kadan. Don saboda a yanzu mun ji dadi saboda an gyara mana hanyoyi kaman su angoyin jewa da babu hanya kwata-kwata. To Allah ya sa yanzu an zuwa mana hanya kaman angon mu wannan mun jima muna shan wahalan akan hanya. To Allah ya sa da aka zuwa mana bypass na wannan na baya mun ji dadin sosai. Kuma mun more shi zuwa har kuma zamu ci gaba zamu more har zuwa gaba. Don saboda shi hanya yana da dadi sosai. A kowane gari ma hanya shine gari. Mun gode sosai da hanyar da aka mana na bayan nan.
To hanyoyin cikin Maiduguri za mu iya cewa mun gode Allah saboda mun samu gwamnati mai adalci, an mana hanyoyi wanda ya kamata a gyara mana an gyara mana sun yi kyau, sai godiya gaskiya. Da kamun sabon gwamnatin Kashim Shettima wasu hanyoyin ba su da kyau, wasu wuraren ma ba wani hanya, amma sakamakon hawa gwamna mai adalci ya gyara mana wanda ya kamata a gyara, wanda ya kamata a mana kwanta an mana kwanta, alhamdulillah.
In the second term, beginning 2015, the Shettima administration focused on taking governance to densely populated areas which had been deprived of government presence for many years. These areas are mostly inhabited by low-income families.
Maganan hanyoyi idan ka duba kaman Bulunkutun Gomari, Bulunkutu kasuwa, ko da ke kada ce na yi son kai na fara da arean Bulunkutun Gomari, Bulunkutu kasuwa, Bulunkutu tsallake, Bulunkutu Abuja talakawa, Miringa, duk area mu na Southern local government namu na area nan wanda muke da shan wahalan tafiya. Mai girma gwamna Miringa zuwa Gunda, duka wannan wurare ya tsaya yayi mana gyara wanda yanzu haka ana yin dambuwa zuwa Chibok. An fara, an yi niyya kuma an fara daga Bama zuwa Gwaza, wanda yana fafutuka kuma Gamboro zuwa Maiduguri. In ka duba Bolori, Kala Balge yana kokarin tada hanya. Wannan wurare a yanzu haka in ka duba hanyoyin da muke kai da hanya mai shekara 40 zuwa 35 ne. Amma yau anguwannin da suna tashi saboda ruwa, alhamdulillah mai girma gwamna yayi mana drainage, yayi mana hanyoyi, wayannan anguwanni suna zaune lafiya. Mun gode Allah saka mishi da alheri. A bangaren kungiyar direbobi ya ba mu motoci 400. Wannan office da nake zaune kusan 80% taimakonsa ne muka gina wannan office wanda muke ciki a yanzu haka. A matsayin kungiyar direbobi na jihar Borno, mu da Honorable Kashim Shettima Excellency, mu abunda yake tsakaninmu da shi addu'a ne na Allah ya saka masa da alheri, Allah ya ƙara ɗauka shi. Kowa ya dubi wannan kungiya da mu ya same mu a gidan haya. Lokacin da Honorable Kashim ya hau, muna gidan haya, ana bin mu shekara 3 kudin haya. Da ikon Allah da taimakonsa yau mun mallaki wannan filin. Muna da kuma fili a Garki Abuja, mun siya wanda za mu gina da sunan Borno na wannan office.
These numerous roads have without doubt touched the lives of many citizens whose communities hitherto existed without feeling the impact of successive governments in Borno State.
Gaskiya mun gode a Allah, an yi gwamnati da dama wanda sun shirya ba ta bai mana kofar waya daya ba su ba mu ba. Wannan gwamnatin alhamdulillah mun gode musu, sun kawo mana kolboti ga kwalta, kasirin layar kamar in ka shiga Abuja. Shirya mana kolboti tukunna muka samu hanyar da har daga nan har zuwan Gomari side pocket har ya je ya bi har muna garage kwalta. Da keke zaka zagaya, zaka je a cikin minti 30 daga nan har zuwa custom zaka zagaya ka tafi. Mun gode a Kashim.
Yanzu gashi muna da lambatu, gashi muna da street light, gashi muna da street mai kyau, wanda in ka shimfiɗa motar kana tafiya ma kamar jirgi ne yake so ka airport. To wanda gwamnati ta wuce wannan babu. dama ci gaban demokradiyya a ga lambu sako wai lambatu ruwa tana flushing tana tafiya, lambatu a ga second one a ga motoci mobility yana tafiya kan street mai kyau, lambatu a ga power street tana amfani, lambafu a ga ruwa kowa yana wadata da ruwa a gida duk muna gani ban ma kwana ba wuta muna kwana da wuta in ka ga na maka kunna AC in ka ga na maka kunna fanka in ka ga na maka kunna TV ka alhamdulillah wallahi gwamnati ta yi duk wanda gwamnati na ba ta yi ba bai adalci ba an yana indijin din Borno State ne.
Without neglecting densely populated areas, as had been proven, the Kashim Shettima administration is remodeling the Maiduguri city center by interlocking road sites, fencing all institutions, constructing new shopping malls in order to properly organize and place Maiduguri in the league of other state capitals which have gained prominence as pride destinations due to deliberate urban renewal. The urban renewal program of the Kashim Shettima administration also includes improved waste management through the Borno State Environmental Protection Agency, BOSEPA, which in 2012 launched the deployment of 40 ultramodern refuse carriage trucks.
Coming forward, Fatima Umar. Following Fatima Umar is Ya Balumodu. Ya Balumodu. Ya Balumodu. And last but not the least, Lydia Ajuji. Lydia Ajuji.
With hundreds of waste bins mounted along the streets. BOSEPA engages thousands of men and women in the daily sanitation of key public institutions like hospitals, schools, and public establishments, in addition to streets in the city center. The activities of BOSEPA and other projects executed by the State Ministry of Environment had earned a National Productivity Merit Award for Borno State in 2012, which was presented by the then Vice President, Architect Namadi Sambo, at a ceremony in Abuja.
Governor Kashim Shettima has really done wonders in terms of environment. I don't want to talk on other issues, but I'm talking specifically on my ministry. When you go around the state, you can see how clean the state is, the capital especially. A large, huge amount of money is being spent every month to keep this thing going on. We have machines all over. We have the personnel all over. And the will is there. So we have no reason not to give him what you expect out of the ministry. And we have been doing our best. Because back on call, he gives us the assistance. So we are okay. And for now, we have not been found wanting. And the state is clean.
To Governor Shetima, his vision to improve roads and the environment in Borno State is already laid for his